Hello, amazing people. I'm so glad to reach you guys once again this lovely day, and I'm just hoping, really hoping that every one of you is doing really super well. Okay, and it's still on the Ooni Of Ife stories that are coming out at this time, and I must say these the stories for today are much of follow up to what we did yesterday. And I'm sure there are stories that will make your day, more beautiful. Okay, and the first one we are having right now has to do with the Yoruba Council worldwide. Yes, yours sincerely brought a story, telling you about the Yoruba Council worldwide, the YCW, that is planning a mega show that is going to come up, if I'm not mistaken, 1st of May 2025, and all the details and the plans that are going on, in that report that we did yesterday, we told you that there are plans, rumors I mean, it's making the round that they might likely use that event, to usher in the reintroduction of our dear Queen Naomi. The reintroduction of Queen Naomi back to the palace, has been on for some months now. You guys are very much aware of that. Okay, so this follow-up story is this. Yoruba Council worldwide. Will the Ooni of Ife publicly acknowledge Queen Naomi at the Omoluabi Day? Yes, that show has been tagged Omoluabi Day, that 1st of May 2025. Okay, for those of you who are Yorubas here, you may, kindly help us with the meaning of Omoluabi, so that is how that day has been tagged, So now, the World Omoluabi Day 2025 is not just another cultural festival. For those of you who may not know, it is a gathering where tradition, honor, and destiny is hopefully expected to collide on that 1st of May. Yes, you heard me well, okay? And I'm using I'm using my words very carefully right here, okay? So while the event promises to be a spectacular celebration of Yoruba heritage, a far greater drama is silently brewing beneath the surface, like we insinuated in our previous video. I mentioned before that look, even though it's going to be a big gathering, there's also this underlying issue of Queen Naomi's reintroduction that is being rumored to be part of that day's event. And we have said in multiple occasions that look, we really hope that this rumor, should be true, because that gathering is going to be the gathering of who is who, the cream de la cream of the Yoruba elites, if I'm to put it that way. Okay. So for months, rumors of Queen Naomi's possible return to the palace have grown loud and very, very loud, and it's being fueled by secret meetings, divine prophecies and efforts of unseen hands working behind the scenes, from all angles. Okay. And yours sincerely on many occasions have done reports about that as well. And for those of you who are keen followers of Queen Naomi and Ooni of Ife conundrum, you will have seen that look, this is actually something that has been ongoing for several months right now. Okay, but as the event draws closer, the question on everyone's lip is clear: will the Ooni of Ife finally break his silence and acknowledge his beloved queen Naomi in public? Just a few a day or two before the bill, before Queen Naomi was granted bail, you recall that apparently was the first time that Ooni of Ife was speaking publicly, canvassing, showing support for Queen Naomi at that time. And yours sincerely, a lot of Queen Naomi fans actually applauded our dear KBC for doing that at that time, because that was much needed. And I tell you, that was part of the reason, those are the things that culminated, to the eventual granting of bail to Queen Naomi. Okay, so the question on the lips of so many people right now is that look, even if this Omoluabi Day is going to take place, and these are the plans, for Queen Naomi to be reinstated, to be reintroduced, and blah blah blah, people are asking, will our dear Kabiyesi finally break his silence and acknowledge his beloved queen in that very public gathering? That is the question a lot of people are asking. Okay, so palace insiders, reveal that multiple factions, are at play right now. On one side, the Yoruba Council Worldwide, a highly revered body, is believed to be pushing for a reconciliation and reintroduction, convinced that Queen Naomi's return is crucial for the kingdom's unity and for the palace stability. I mean, who does not know this? This has always been the thinking and the reasoning of a lot of us who are keen followers of the palace stories. Okay, so on the other hand, certain palace figures and rivals, rival interests, are allegedly working to ensure that the past remains buried. Don't forget that on several occasions when we have tried to see the tragedy of Queen Naomi, how she got into the palace the first time, was there, all the trouble she's had. When we are doing those stories, we've told you several times that look, there are a lot of figures, in and around the palace, who have a contrary interests, and that interest is to ensure that what remains in the past must be buried in the past. Because for these people, they fear that uh, they fear that Queen Naomi's reappearance, back to the Ooni of Ife's life could mean a sort of power dynamics, a shift in power dynamics within the palace. And of course, people don't like change, especially when people have become comfortable with their situations. They wouldn't want any change, especially when they know that Queen Naomi, I mean, is not ready to change for anybody. Queen Naomi will always be Queen Naomi. Okay. So these other people are bent on ensuring that this does not happen. It has always been like that. Okay? So, but for me, I want to ask these people who have this contrary opinion, them not the tire. Because right from the time that this young lady was in the palace, these forces have always been there. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, it is the aggregate interventions of these people, that prompted the departure of Queen Naomi in the first place. Okay, I know there are myriads of other issues here and there, but I tell you that it is the kind of activities of these people, the kind of activities they displayed, that also culminated to one of the reasons why Queen Naomi had to leave at that time. And a lot of people have come out to say, look, the way she even left the Instagram post and everything, I mean, it shows that she was stampeded to make that thing. It was something that, I mean, that it was not ordinary. That is a lot of what traditionalists have said about the way she left the palace. But there's one undeniable factor that even politics cannot ignore, which is, as far as I'm concerned, destiny. There's a big role destiny plays in all of this, especially when it comes to the things that have to do with Queen Naomi and Tadenikao, and even by extension, Kabiesi himself. There's always a role. Put politics aside, there's always a big, big role, for destiny. And I think very much that, look, destiny is about to be at play right here once again. Okay? So Queen Naomi, known for her divine spirituality and prophetic visions, has long been considered a woman of faith. Yes, everyone knows, the kind of grace that this woman carries. Everyone knows that she is a woman of faith. No one can dispute this. Many believe that her journey was never meant to end in exile. And with Omoluabi Day, set together the most powerful monarchs and dignitaries, the pressure on the Ooni of Ife has even become greater. Wow, wow, wow. I can imagine the pressure, Sha. This is not a small one. Even me as an onlooker, I'm so eager to see that day come already. So all eyes will be glued to 1st of May 2025 once again. That is if this rumor that is coming out at this time is true. So while so this is what I think everyone is waiting for, including yours sincerely right now. May 1st, 2025, here we come. So will he extend a hand of recognition? Will a single word from him, I'm talking of Kabiyesi now, will a single word from him change the course of history? Or will he allow the forces of tradition and palace politics to keep them apart? Wow, a lot of questions, a lot of questions. But I will tell you, I really don't know the answers to this question because, like I always tell everyone, Ooni of Ife is a very strategic thinking monarch, and he must have thought this through, and I'm sure on that day, he's not going to let anybody down. That is the assurance me I'm having right now. So as the event approaches, the tension is becoming more and more palpable. Okay? Supporters of Queen Naomi, like you and I, we are holding our breath, while the palace remains silent right now. But one thing I tell you is so certain. All eyes will be on the Ooni of Ife on that day, waiting for a sign that could shake the Yoruba kingdom to its very core. Yes, you heard me well. So this is a beautiful story that is coming out. And just like we reported yesterday, in fact, just looking at this follow-up story, it just gives a lot of hope, to all of us Queen Naomi fans. And like I keep saying, I really just hope that this rumor turns out to be very true. And I just want to say that, well, we have to pray that this whole thing turns out to be true, because it is going to have a lot of potential for not just Queen Naomi and Tadenika, but by extension, all of us, because we will be very happy to make if this truly happens on that day. Okay. So thank you so much for being there, listening to our stories. Thank you for those of you who have been sharing our videos, those of you who have been liking our videos, and most importantly, those of you who subscribe to this channel. Okay. For those of you who feel like leaving your comment on this particular story, please feel free to go to the comment section where hopefully I'm going to meet you. God bless you and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye bye.